What's up guys, Keelan here from 2Cast3Gamers, and today I am playing a little bit of Spiral Knights. Now what mission are we on? We're on mission 4-2, and it looks like we're going to be hunting down some frost wolves or something like that. Seems pretty cool. As you can see, I've leveled up significantly, got all sorts of armor, all sorts of weapons. The itemization in this game is pretty cool. The gear is ranked by stars, and the game doesn't really start until you have level 2 star equipment, because that equipment can follow you through the entire game as you continue to upgrade it. So I'm just going to prep here and level up some of my armor before I go into the game, make sure I max it out for a certain forge. You can do smaller amounts, use smaller amounts of crystals when you're forging, but it's not recommended because you may not get a successful forge. Okay, so I've got my pet, I've got my armor, I've got my gear. Let's do it. I'm going to be going solo this time. I found that Spiral Knights, while a fantastic game, it is difficult to find parties for the lower leveled stuff. And that makes sense, because a lot of people that have been playing this game have already been playing it for a year or a year and a half, 2 years. I can't remember exactly when this game came out. I'm going to have to find out for you guys. But anyways, the game is still fantastic, and already twice today I've had relatively high level players come in to help me out in the game, and that was a fantastic experience. I've also done an elite dungeon with a higher level character, and the elite dungeons really blew me away. While this game seems kind of quirky and fun, the elite dungeons are actually serious business. They're really difficult. At the same time, the drops on the elite dungeons are really fantastic. So here we are. It's a snow world. I haven't yet seen this. Every level has a different theme to it. I've seen a haunted house theme. I've seen what else have I seen? I've seen like a savannah type of theme. I've definitely seen these chameleons before, but I haven't seen them with this snow theme. They have these little fuzzy manes, and they're light blue color, which we don't normally see. Okay, so I'm just going to switch over to... Nope, I'm going to go back to my gun. Just going to shield bash these guys. And when you see that little yellow ring pop up, you know that they're about to attack. Just give you a heads up. Okay, so yeah, we're collecting lots of crowns. Crowns are the little things that look like money, and they essentially work as currency in this game. Crowns and energy. Whoops. And these foxes, or whatever they are, hyena fox thing, they always have pretty darn good HP, I find. Pretty good defense. And some of them even light you on fire. So, like many other games of this genre, which is kind of a hack and slash MMO RPG type of genre, you'll note that there are different effects, different weapon effects, elemental effects. So freezing, fire, you could be electrocuted, clearly you could be stunned. Yeah, and just want to get out of here. And yeah, the stun in particular can get out of hand very quickly, because once you're stunned, the AI tells all the others to gang up on you. But this level is not oh. See, there I am, I'm frozen, I can't really do anything right now. No, stay away from me, stay away from me, stay away from me. Damn dirty ape. Damn dirty ice cube. Shield bash right here. That's one thing, I become very dependent on the gun when I think that the sword is actually probably more effective. It just tends to kill enemies faster, I find. So quite often while I'm playing around with the gun, somebody with a sword just comes in and just wipes the floor clean. Okay, so also the maps can get a little bit confusing. Or maybe I'm just not the smartest guy on the block when it comes to maps. There we go, I got a claw. You're going to see these little blocks drop on the ground as well, and a lot of these are crafting materials, and definitely keep them. Do not run by them. If you see them, pick them up. They're totally worth it. It's allowed me to craft level 2 gear, I believe, even before, or 2-star gear, even before the game really allows you, or really expects you to do it. Ooh, looks like I found a giant key. Never gonna lose this key, it's absolutely gigantic. Okay, so a giant key needs a giant lock. You get where I'm going with that? Okay, so this looks about right. Oh, cool. So these are these little 4-leaf clover things are actually prize boxes, and they're pretty awesome. And what you're seeing me pick up right now are fire crystals, I believe they're called, and they're used to level up your equipment. And of course, you can buy a lot of this stuff in the store, but thus far, this game has been pretty good. Just gonna take a potion here. This game has been pretty good about all of the content being open to the player without having to pay for it. Though clearly, if you take a look at the supply depot, which is code for the store, you'll see that it really does help to just put a couple dollars into the game. Really, it'll get you things like alchemy orbs, which just make crafting super easy, so you don't have to be grinding dungeons all day. Though to be honest, this is probably the most fun I've had grinding dungeons in a really long time. I want to be careful here because I don't. You know what? I'm just gonna shoot these and set them off now. Okay. I'm just gonna shield bash these guys. And what does make this game difficult is timing the delays properly with your weapons. And okay, there we go. Pull out my gun, shoot him with my lasers. Perfect. I wonder what kind of animals these guys are. They're like chinchillas. Whenever I think of chinchillas, I always think of rappers. I always think of this really gigantic rapper from back when I was a kid. His name was Fat Joe. This is like way back. And he was like this giant fat pasty rapper, and he wore like a chinchilla coat. And yeah, that's exactly what we're doing right now, hunting chinchillas for Fat Joe. There we go. Got my drops. Just gonna set these off for good measure. I love explosives. Again, a lot of the environments are like destructible here, and the puzzles never get too complex, to be perfectly honest, but they can get overwhelming with the amount of enemies on the map. And I guess there are really a couple different ways that games can go with that. You have games that can be puzzling in terms of the difficulty of the puzzles themselves, and then you have games that just overwhelm you with so much on the map at any given time. I'm thinking of StarCraft, for example. The really good players are able to put so much on the map at any given time, right? Multitasking is definitely the name of the game here. Oh shit! Army of Chameleons led by a guy who looks like he should be in the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, I went there. Oh my goodness, these chameleons have some range on them. I would never want to meet one of these guys in the jungle. Funny enough, one of the creatures that I found most scary, I guess, jungle creatures, is not like a tiger or anything like that. It's freaking monkeys, man. They scare me. Like, shit. Fuck. Apes have the strength of like 10 men. And I would just hate to meet like a silverback gorilla. I guess technically a monkey's not a gorilla, but you know what I'm saying. In the jungle, that would just absolutely suck. These chameleons are kind of cute, and all they do is kind of shoot oil, so yeah. I guess I should kill this guy. It looks like he's mending them. It looks like he's healing them. Fuck you. Got him. Shield bash. And I'm just gonna chop this guy up a little bit. Chop this guy up a little bit. Make a little chameleon sushi, and we're good. What is that? Looks like a lobster, green lobster claw. Moving on. Okay, so these guys are trying to go all invisible on me, but it is not working. Look how much damage they ate. Oh, pretty good apparently. And that is the definition of kiting, ladies and gentlemen, or strafing. I don't know. I know strafing's a word, I can't remember exactly what strafing means. That's one thing. I feel like when I was a kid, my vocabulary went up quite a bit, but now my vocabulary is just kind of stagnating. It's not deteriorating, but it seems to be stagnating. These guys you don't really have to kill. They're just kind of like moving barrier pads that you can't touch. They're like sea urchins or whatever those are called. Speaking of sea urchins, if you ever look at the bottom of a sea urchin, it is absolutely disgusting. Or sea star, I think they're called. Anyways, these gems right here, I think they equate to crowns, which is the currency in the game, and as I was saying earlier, so you definitely want to make sure that you get the biggest crystal that you can find, and bring that with you. Just click on it, and it'll hop on your back, like a giant crystal backpack, bling bling, and you're good to go. And moving to the elevator, this will take you to the next level. In fact, this whole game is really centered around this idea of going deeper and deeper and deeper into this planet, and the levels progressively get harder and harder and harder, which is kind of cool. It reminds me a lot of Torchlight 2, or Torchlight for that matter. If you've ever played either of those games, they also have roughly the same sort of cartoony feel to them, and it's kind of cool. You know, it's a very charming style. Unfortunately, Torchlight and Torchlight 2 didn't quite grab me the way Spiral Knights has grabbed me. Already in Spiral Knights, I think I've logged 9 hours, even though I've only posted a couple hours on YouTube, whereas Torchlight 2, Torchlight and Torchlight 2, I didn't finish either game. Torchlight 2, I got to the beginning of the 3rd act, I believe, which is near the end of the game, but not quite there. Okay, so I'm gonna move into the forest here. More of these chameleons. You know what, maybe they're not chameleons, they look kind of like parrots too. You see what I mean by this sword just being so much more effective at killing enemies. The only downside is that it really leaves you exposed in terms of if they're going to attack. Oh shit, I missed him. Pew 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 pew. Got him. It really leaves your back exposed in terms of an attack, right? If you dive into a group of enemies and you just totally get swarmed, and then if you get stunned or something like that, it's a really, really bad move, and you will die, for certain. So when you do die, you get revived by these things called Sparks of Life. It's interesting. I was studying Talmud once. If you don't know anything about Talmud, Talmud is like Jewish religious lore, I suppose you could call it. Anyways, they have this idea that all life, or all holiness or life, oh, I'm totally butchering this, is like a spark, and really righteous people collect the sparks. Anyways, playing on this idea, I suppose, I really don't know, is you have a spark of life, and when you die, you can use one of the sparks of life that you've collected over time to revive your character. Now, I seem to be doing a little bit of a stretch trying to compare it to Talmud, but I thought it was cool anyways. I'm just gonna kill this chinchilla over here. Fuck you, Fat Joe. You're not getting any more of these. Ah! Run away! You see what I mean? This is the case with the sword, is that sometimes you can just get overwhelmed, and luckily we're not playing on too difficult. We're playing on advanced difficulty, I believe, which is really just normal, I think. Elite is supposed to be hard, and as I was saying earlier, Elite is really, really difficult. Don't even do it unless you have the proper gear, or unless you have a lot of sparks to life, because in my first couple days playing, I think I died like not very much. And when I played it on fuck you! That's a really cool chinchilla, actually. When I played it on Elite, I died like 15 times in one day. It was really bad. Doing my Superman knee dive forward. Bah. Oh, it's a butterfly. Fuck you, butterfly. I always knew butterflies were evil. Actually, it's kind of sad. I noticed that the past couple years, I'm not seeing as many butterflies out there. And I don't know why that is. I'm not talking about in-game guys. I'm talking about just out and about. Okay, so make sure that you take down these bushes. Whacking those bushes. Doing a little manscaping over here. because they do have triggers and bloop, they have crowns in them. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. And if you don't really know where to go in this game, then you're probably missing like a hidden lever or a hidden switch sitting under a bush. Oh. So make sure when they move in like that you pop your shield, which should be mouse 2. One thing I really liked about this game is that it gives you options in terms of your controls. Do you want to play with a controller? Do you want to play with WASD, which is my favorite personally? Or do you want to play in the kind of Diablo-esque style? And I think Diablo was kind of antiquated in that your mouse, you attacked and you moved with your mouse. Of course, you had mouse number 2, you right click, but it's still kind of limited the amount that you could do. Oops. But this game is nice because you control your character's mobility with WASD. Oh, I missed it, but I still got him. You control your character's mobility with WASD, but you control the attack with your mouse, which gives you a wider range of movement. Just gonna shield bash him. Oops, I didn't pull out my gun in time. A really, really good strategy I find is to mix the shield bash with your gun, and this disallows them from grabbing too much, from you taking too much damage, them getting too much off of you. So there you go. Shield bash, followed by gun. And that stuns them, and that allows you to just hit him up. Of course, this is a little bit longer, and we can compare that with just going in with your sword, which you can do right now with the next enemy. That looks kind of cool. We have like a whirlpool going on over here around that tree. Okay, so let's see if we can do this entire one area just with our sword. Okay, well apparently there's no enemies here, so clearly we can do it with our sword. I'm gonna go with yellow, just because I like the yellow crystals the most. Purple, oh no, look at that giant purple crystal. Tastes like grape. Why is it that we associate certain colors with certain tastes? I would suppose it's because grapes are purple, for example. But you can also get red grapes. You can also get green grapes. Oh man, this guy's fast. These guys are really fast. It looks like they have some sort of charge attack. See, oh shit! I'm gonna put out my shield. Put out my shield again. Got him. Shield bash. Got him again. So yeah, the sword definitely feels more effective. But I guess it also depends on your personality type. Are you more of a shooty gunslinger type, or are you more of a melee type? Which is interesting. I know the games are trying to get away from this idea of melee versus, you know, shooty, archer, cleric, blah blah blah. But I think there's something to it. For example, I'm always a shooty type, and my roommate is always shit. Ah, jumping out of the way. My roommate is more of a melee type, and I wonder if that has to do. I really do wonder if that has to do psychologically with the person's personality. Are you more prone to just bluster into a situation, or are you more prone to analyze the situation and take hits off where you can? It's definitely a little bit slow though. I've always been curious about that, is how much can we stereotype people? How much can we generalize about them based on, I don't know, anything, really? Like, a lot of people generalize based on when a person is born, zodiac, right? In fact, lots of different cultures have this idea of the zodiac. And I've always been curious about it. For example, I am a Cancer, and we're supposed to be moody and all this, right? And then, like, Leos are supposed to be really, really confident. And I know there's exceptions, but can we sort of delineate some some commonalities? Make some generalizations based on stuff like that? I don't know. It's kind of cool to think about. And how it relates to gaming. You know, do people fill certain positions in a co-op game, in a team-based game, based on their personality differences? That'd be cool to look into. In fact, I think just gaming in general has not been looked at as in terms of the effects it has on people, or hasn't been looked at well, I don't believe, or in terms of popular media, about what it tells us about people, what it tells us about human nature, why do we like the games that we like. It's almost like studying literature in a way, but it's more interactive because people are interacting with the game in a very physical way. Okay, I'm gonna shield bash these guys. In fact, I was watching a YouTube video of this guy playing, I think it was Amnesia, with goggles, essentially. So he could actually see the world around him. He wasn't using a mouse looking at a screen, but it was almost like those 3D goggles or whatever that, you know, we used to see at tech fairs way back in the day. And when I say way back in the day, oh, I got my shield just in time there. I mean, like a couple years ago. And it just shows you the level of interaction with games. And I don't know. It makes me wonder, what is the difference between a simulator and a game? What makes something a simulator and what makes it a game? Is it only because a simulator seems to replicate things in real life? Things that we experience on a day-to-day basis? Say like a flight simulator or a car driving simulator or something like that. But then, what about, or is it the level of detail? Because if it's the level of detail, well, I gotta pull back on that. I guess a simulator is called a simulator because it simulates something. So yeah, something that we see in real life. But what happens when we get games that are so detailed that they are at the level of detail that simulators are, but not, but imaginary, but fantasy? I mean, it takes this idea of escapism to a whole nother level, and escapist literature has always been a popular genre, right? It used to be the adventure tales in the medieval ages, the travel tales, and now escapist literature is everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. If you're reading fiction, you're probably reading escapist literature. And really, gaming is no different. If we can study literature, we should be able to study gaming. Oh shit, here it goes. Okay, pull up my gun, get a couple shots off. Gonna hop over here, pull out a fire potion, throw it at those bastards. Shield slam, pull out my sword, bam, bam, bam. One down. Hop over here. Oh, pull up my gun. Man, I swear I landed those hits, but they totally didn't register. So yeah, speaking of gaming and literature, I've definitely seen games where the storyline was easily as complex as some escapist fiction I've seen out there. But then we would have to get into that debate, like what is the difference between literature and just regular escapist fiction? And I do believe that there is... Oh no, there's more of them! Fuck. I do believe there's a difference. I think that literature has some sort of merit to it, which separates it from just basic escapist fiction. And that would definitely be a difference with gaming. For example, you can have a really simple game like this where the storyline is just barely fleshed out. Though don't get me wrong, I actually really enjoy the storyline here. But it is, like, in my eyes, a 5-star game. Whereas you can't really have a really simple piece of fiction that is considered, you know, like 5-star fiction. Or can you, actually? I don't know. Someone debate me on that. Shit. That was really, really bad. Okay, so I need to take out that butterfly guy, because it looks like the butterfly guy is healing now. So just trying to aim for the butterfly. Fuck butterflies, man. Whoever created this game hates butterflies. But all the more power to him. Look at him. His little red wings. Okay, we landed another hit on him there. Oh man, this is kind of intense. So I seem to have uncovered a really, really useful skill here, and that is... Alright, got the butterfly. Shield bash these mofos. So now any damage they take is actually going to do damage. But yeah, it's interesting. In most games, it's animals. Whenever you see an animal, you know, those are like beginner mobs that you barely level up with. But in this game, these guys are actually really good. I'm gonna go for another shield bash here. And another one. If your shield is not recharged when you do that, you just end up... Oh no. See, that was an example of overextension in terms of my diving, in terms of my shield bash. So yeah, if your shield is not charged up when you go for shield bash, you just end up standing there and taking hits, which is really, really bad. So a lot of this game is just timing things correctly. Oh, he just ate a whole bunch of damage. Okay, I'm gonna charge this up and I'm gonna show you guys what this gun does when it's fully charged. Okay, that didn't work at all. Let's try that again. There we go. Go for another shield bash. I could definitely pull my sword out here and just take this guy down. Oh, he got me good right before. Oh no. Okay, fuck that. Okay, we got it. Oh my goodness, there's more of them. Holy shit. Okay, so there's another butterfly here. So we just have to get that butterfly. Oh, there's two butterflies. Okay, I wonder if they do damage or if they just heal stuff. It looks like they just heal stuff. Another interesting dynamic is it looks like the wolves, or chinchillas, whatever the hell they are. They seem to be increasing their attack power. Oh. Things are looking pretty rough here in Chinchilla Town. Luckily I have a potion. That actually helped a lot. Okay, so just want this butterfly to die. They won't stop attacking me. It's really, really useful if you hit your right mouse and if you hit your right mouse and then your shift left mouse, transition into the shift left mouse, you will go from shield into a bounce, which is really, really helpful. I don't see the butterfly. There it is. Up to its dirty deeds. Thankfully it dies pretty quickly. Whoop. Where did it go? Is it dead? Oh, thank God. And also while you're playing, you're gonna pick up little potions and vials of explosives and other interesting things. So for example, if I press 4, I get some sort of something. I'm just gonna throw it at them, see what happens. Oh, nothing. Fuck. Let's try that again, see if I can hit one of them directly. I think it's supposed to stun them, but I'm not sure if I'm hitting them correctly. Let's go for shield bash here. They're all lined up. Oh, I didn't hit anything. Okay. That was a successful shield bash. Gonna lay down a little more covering fire. What's really useful is to line them up into a group and then shield bash them. And I believe there are heavy weapons in this game which really serve that function well. It's funny because the dynamics, the strategy transitions into just about every game. But there's something so satisfying about clumping enemies up and hitting them all for one go. Oh! Oh! That's a little bit close there. Okay. That was a really well-timed shield bash there. And we go for one more there. Ooh, dodged out of the way that time. Got him. I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time, going toe-to-toe with this guy with his sword. Because, yeah, fuck it, yes I am. Got him. He definitely got a hit off on me there. Okay, so I don't know if that was the boss fight, but I sure hope so. What's going on over here? Looks like we have some more prize boxes. I wish I found stuff like this in real life. I was just walking on the street and decided to just bash open this box, and inside was a bunch of stuff, a bunch of cool stuff. So yeah, that's the end of this level. It actually looks really nice. What is that? It looks like a sun? Flying saucer? Something like that? Anyways, on to the next level. It's kind of cool. The lore of this game is inside of this planet there's multiple rings that are floating around, and each ring has terrain from a different world. Oh, let's see what we have here. Okay, so I've won 10 crowns. I got 623 in total from the level. Pretty cool. I still haven't figured out... Okay, so I guess that's the end of the level. I still haven't figured out when these things end. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. I will be posting another video from Spiral Knight ASAP. Bye.